Hello, it's Philip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers. I'm looking at a book this morning called Human Rights, Confronting Myths and Misunderstandings by Andrew Fagan. It's published by Edward Elgar. It's only a slim volume of some 150 pages. It's got a detailed bibliography at the back, and also from the bibliography you've then got there's the bibliography, there's the index. You've got quite a lot of information. It's quite a heavy book, but it goes into some detail, and in my view it's quite an intellectual book in the sense that it looks at the way in which the issue has been handled. My wife and I have written a review which we've called Human Rights, So Why the Ongoing Controversy? And this is what we've basically said. We're saying in this thought-provoking addition to human rights scholarship, Andrew Fagan offers a minutely analytical approach to this often controversial subject. If you're supportive of the principles of human rights, however, as most of us are, you may well wonder why human rights should be at all controversial. Surely one would argue, as the American revolutionaries did in 1776, that such rights are inalienable. We are all human. We should all have the right to rights, so where does the controversy lie? Unfortunately, if we can be forgiven for making a sweeping general statement, such rights are dismissed, ignored, or sometimes deliberately violated throughout the world, particularly in areas of the world where the word democracy strikes terror in the cynical hearts of dictatorial, repressive and/or incompetent governments. So for this and a number of other reasons, Fagan points out that the foremost myth, that we live in an age of human rights, stands in need of correction. This age has yet to arrive, he announces, as evidenced by the countless millions, if not billions, of human beings whose basic human rights are systematically denied every waking day of their lives. We can only enter a genuine age of human rights, he adds, when we have committed ourselves to securing the conditions required for a world finally free from the effects of systematic misery and avoidable suffering. So some pretty powerful stuff there. Thus does Fagan, rather heroically in our view, set out to examine and quite often dispel the myths and misunderstandings which often obscure and distort both the theory and practice of human rights, and in so doing erect barriers to their successful realization. Following a lively examination, for example, of certain ethnocentric objections to human rights, Chapter 6 in this particular book is particularly interesting in the context of certain democracies where human rights legislation stands in need of a little fine-tuning. Here, the author focuses on the misunderstandings concerning the relationship between rights and duties, one of the biggest things that we have to deal with. Duties, and might we add responsibilities, have a necessary role in the possession and effective exercise of any human right, and that's basically what Fagan comes up with. And he says they are not a mere afterthought. This is a thorough and balanced work which examines the philosophical basis of human rights and tackles head-on the most commonly held suspicions and misconceptions, some of them politically motivated, of course, and deliberate, of the human rights theory. If you specialise professionally or academically in the area of human rights legislation, or even practical application, you'll probably find it useful to read, but you will probably raise your own controversies, of course, by doing so. Well worth getting. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.